Well, here is a Ducati Panther engine reclining. So I tipped it up on its ass basically and strapped it down to the bench just so the front cylinder was more or less vertical, so I could use the wondrous force of gravity to get the barrel down over the pistons. It's a lot easier if you've got gravity working with you rather than fighting you. So, front and rear head on. I wouldn't say torqued down because I haven't really got a solution for that yet, but basically done up as tight as I think it needs to be. And just a note on that, so I had to modify a 14mm spanner by grinding it down, grinding the height of it down so it will actually fit just in between the gap in here once you've got it torqued down. So what I had to do is I had to reset the height of the cylinder studs because they weren't quite long enough to accommodate the washer under the nut. So I wound the studs out a bit, reset their length, re-Loctited them, had to use a bit of heat to reset them, but got them all approximately the same now and flush with the top of the nut when the washer is fitted. That one's a little bit short, but that's alright, it's got most of the threads engaged, and then I've just tightened it down as much as I dare with this spanner. Now, getting a torque setting on that is going to be interesting. I don't think I'll be using a torque wrench. You can buy various Ducati tools which will allow you to attach a torque wrench. I could even cut this off here and weld a socket on here if I really wanted to, and then put a conventional torque wrench on, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is have a look at the torque value, look that up, put a scaffold pole or something similar over the spanner, and probably just use something crude like my fish weigh scale on the end of the scaffold pole, measure the length and work out what force I need to apply to get the torque value. So yeah, getting much closer now. So what I'm going to do next is sort out this tacho drive, blanking that off, and I've got a hole in the back of the engine to plug where the neutral switch would have sat, but of course we're not having a neutral switch because it's a race bike. We're going to have virtually no wiring anyway on this thing. That's the oil pressure sender, so that's a good idea to have an oil light, so that might happen. And then I've just got to check one more thing. There should be a plug in the end of the crankshaft in here. I can't remember seeing one. I'm just going to check that that's plugged. Obviously that stops the oil feed from the pump going all the way through the crankshaft and losing pressure on the big end, so it's a very important thing to have in there. So I've ordered an oil filter that's on its way, so it's just a screw-in type, so that's a piece of piss. So yeah, nearly, very nearly there on the engine. Got to sort out exhaust studs or bolts, haven't decided which I'm going to use yet. Studs, hopefully, if I can get hold of some, and then I'll mount the exhaust on the engine before the frame goes on. But the frame going on is looking much closer.